What's up, everybody?
Hey.
We are live streaming, technically, but we're not coming to you live. This is pre-recorded, but we wanted to give you guys some information. We do these over on our Patreon community where we do these uncut videos and just kind of talk like we do on live streams.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk about the whiskey brand that was the most surprising whiskey brand for us last year, and the fact that we have a barrel pick coming out with them. When you're seeing this, it's coming out tomorrow over on Shared Pour through our Patreon community, and this was selected in conjunction with the Maumee Valley Whiskey Society, so it's going to go to our Patreon community and the members of that Central Ohio Whiskey Society. And yeah, it's a fantastic pick. We're going to get into it and do a little bit of tasting. It was a unanimous pick, and Erin, you can go ahead and start smelling, but I'm going to talk to you guys about the specifics of this. So
it smells like butterscotch and stinky feet. I'm here for it.
And if you guys know the channel, you know Stinky Feet to her is a great note. Yeah. It's like kind of like a barrel charry kind of,
I don't know,
like a really pleasant kind of
it's like
funk to it. Yeah.
It's like, it's a little funk, but it's like not bad funk.
Right. Not bad funk. This is 115.2 proof. This was one of only 18 barrels from their first season of single barrels, and we completely lucked into this. It was between this and 3 other ones, and we had 10 people doing the barrel selection process, and we'll put the link to that live stream down in the video description below if you want to watch it, get some more information on how Found North does things. But first sip of the night, we're coming in right off 115 proof.
All right.
So this...
it's sweet on the back end.
Yeah, it was a unanimous pick by 10 people, which was completely wild. That almost never happens on barrel picks. But it is a blend of 12, 19, and 21-year whiskey. 50% of the blend is the 19 and the 21-year whiskeys. The 12-year whiskey, and the way that Found North does things is Canadian whiskey, but with this type of experience here, it's a very bourbon drinker-friendly Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, it is. It's sweet, but not sickeningly sweet.
Right. So it's a 12-year rye, a 19-year rye, and then a 21-year corn whiskey. And that 21-year corn whiskey is 30% of the blend, and that brings in, straight corn whiskey is extremely sweet. So that kind of balances out the rye that you're getting in there. And then it was finished for 12 months in a new charred oak #1 toasted barrel. So you've got 30% corn whiskey plus the toasted barrel going on. Yeah. And it just makes a really nice combination to impart a lot of sweetness.
Yeah. Well, and the way Found North does their mixing is it's 100% of each grain. So it's not a mash bill that's put in together at the beginning. It's all rye grain, all corn grain going in together after it's been distilled. Right,
for sure. So we love this pick when we did it. I can't wait to try it again. We just got this in. It's releasing this Saturday at Shared Pour through our Patreon and the Maumee Valley Whiskey Society, but you have to be in either of those 2 communities to be able to get your hands on this. So
if you're in both, then you got double your chances.
Well, it's gonna release in the tiered order at the same time for both communities.
Just saying.
But well, if you're not in Central Ohio, it doesn't help you much. But
but if you are, what if you are?
But join Patreon if you want to get a shot at this. Even the $3 tier will probably get a shot at this, but it does start at the high tiers and work its way down.
Yeah.
It's going to be $99.99, and then they have flat rate $17.99 shipping. So go shopping for some other stuff while you're there.
Might as well.
Or buy 2 or 3 of these things if you want. It is, I'm going to get it on the nose.
Yeah.
I've been talking, you've been drinking.
So I'll say it started out I was overwhelmed by the warmth, that very first sip, because this is my first sip of the day. And then my second sip, it was just like perfect. It wasn't too hot. It's got good viscosity. And it's got some like butterscotch notes without seeming too sugary sweet, which I don't like too sugary sweet things. So it's good that it's not overly sweet.
Yeah, on the nose, really the butterscotch comes through big time. And then you get just like this nice toasted oak on it. And I'm not saying that because I know it's in toasted oak, but the oak that's on here just has like this kind of toasted quality that you get on some toasted bourbons. But you don't necessarily get that new cut wood nose that you get on a lot of toasted bourbons when they're younger. The age in this thing is kind of really making it nice and round.
There's a little bit of dryingness on the finish, like ever so slightly, which I kind of like. Kind of like that. It took me a few sips to get it, but I like it.
Yeah, just all the oak and age on this thing. You're going to get that wood on the back end like that, and I know what you're saying. Like,
it's almost like
it has that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's not drying.
Right.
There's a big distinct
There's a
difference to
drying
make there.
quality to the drink, but it is not drying in my mouth, if that makes sense.
No.
It's almost
It's
like a finish,
dry.
like a wine.
Right. Wine can be dry, but not drying.
Yeah.
Nobody likes drying whiskey.
Right. It's dry.
But having that,
It reminds me of like a dry wine type of finish.
Yeah. And now getting it on the palate, I always like to go back to the nose. And going back to the nose, everything that's there is just more rich and intense because, I mean, smelling and tasting go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. So I remember when I first tried this on the barrel pick, it just, bam, it hit with so much flavor right off the bat.
And it
is
does.
that like a Guy Fieri thing that I did? You know his name is Fieri, but you say it Fieri.
Because isn't that Italian? How
Yeah.
they say it in Italian?
I
Italy?
just found out how to say his name this week.
Maybe.
Anyways, but doesn't he say no? That's Emerald Lagasse. Sorry, I'm messing up all over the place.
It's okay.
Yeah,
And this is why most of our YouTube videos are edited.
This is why they're edited. But this thing, it's just so rich on the nose now,
Yeah.
and not that it wasn't before, but it just brings in so much more depth after you get it on the palate. And I got to get in for another sip.
Just do some synchronized sipping just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I am going to have to control myself because we have a whole night of filming ahead of us.
We do have some filming after this, but we wanted to visit this on fresh palates.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. It just hits with all that concentrated butterscotch, caramel sweetness right on the front of the palate. And then it transitions on the back of the palate and it just soaks into your jowls. It's like back here and just soaking into the sides of my cheeks.
Yeah, okay.
It's got a beautiful finish on it.
Yeah, I do like the finish. It's nice.
Interestingly enough, when we were on the live stream doing the barrel pick for this with everyone and Nick from Found North, we also had a sample, a little bit of their single barrel release that they did.
That Found North did.
Found North did when they released it last year, and it sold out in like 12 minutes. And I'm not just saying this because this is our barrel pick. We hadn't even picked this at that point. That was what we warmed up with their single barrel, and it is a very good pour.
Yeah.
But I like this better. Their other one was more bright, and this is more dark and dense and rich. Yeah.
It's dark sweetness.
Yeah, dark sweetness, I think, is the perfect descriptor for this. And I do know that with looking at the label, you see the higher rye percentage, and all the stats and the description will be in the video description below for this. But you look at it, you see such a high rye percentage. I want to take one more sip knowing that rye percentage is in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the biggest fan of ryes. I'm coming around on them, especially finished ones. But I want to take one more sip just to make sure, I want to give people an accurate representation of what they can expect as far as rye content goes here.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm not a good judge of that because I do like ryes. So it's not awkward at all.
Yeah. Okay, so I think where you could possibly get the rye is right in the middle of the palate, back of the tongue.
Okay.
You got to kind of be looking for it because it's so sweet, but I think that rye kind of balances out the sweetness that you're getting from the toasting and all that stuff.
Makes sense.
It kind of reminds me of the same kind of caramel drizzled spearmint type note that you would get on Kentucky ryes, surprisingly enough.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But the age kind of makes it more rounded out and mellow. But anyways,
Sweet.
It's a fantastic pick. Hopefully we've conveyed well enough what the tasting and the experience is like with this one. And it's sticky, it's lingering. I'm talking through the finish, through this whole thing. My mouth is salivating. I just want more of this. So we got to get more of this.
Yeah, we do.
But if you want some of this, join the Patreon. It's down in the video description below. Whether you join or not, keep an eye out for Found North. We think they're doing some of the coolest things in the whiskey world right now. And yeah, we're just in love with the brand. We'll put a link to the live stream down there when we did the pick. We'll also put a link to the live stream that we did with Nick from Found North in November, where we talked a lot more about their processes.
Their process, which
and all that stuff.
that fascinated me, and that's why I became a fangirl of Found North after that first live stream we did with Nick.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a real whiskey nerds brand, and I mean whether you are a whiskey nerd or not, there's still something to like about their whiskey. If you like cask strength whiskey, we love this stuff. While we've got your ear, we're going to go ahead and let you know in the video description below as well is a link to our May event on May 20th, 2023 in the Chicago area, a little bit in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. We're having a limited to 50 people meetup, Stuff and Whiskey meetup. Sip and socialize with us. And your ticket price includes your first cocktail or pour. It includes a catered barbecue lunch, and it also includes their master distiller coming in, talking to us about their processes, answering questions.
You didn't say we were going to be at a distillery.
Oh, we will be at a distillery.
The Sip and Social is at a distillery in Chicago.
Yeah.
And we will get a tour of that distillery.
Right. So we get to talk with their master distiller. We get to have a pour on the house. Well, it's part of your ticket price and catered barbecue lunch. Yeah. And we're hanging out for like 4 hours. So if you want to come and hang out with us, we would love to share a pour with you. If you want to be a part of that, the link is down there as well. Thank you guys, as always, for watching the channel, for liking our videos, for commenting. Thank the patrons immensely for doing everything they do to make this community so special for us to be a part of. And love you guys. We're going to cap it there.
All right. Bye.
Cheers. And then,
That's good.
Now end. Man, this is a good pick.
Mm-hmm.